All right, guys, we got a good show every day. We have Nick Bell. He goes to Paxton School for Advanced Studies. He has offers from Army, Air Force, and Navy, to name a couple. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
We always kind of start out with this, first one, because we all are in different sports and we all have different stories how we got into our sports. How did you get into football yourself?
So I've been playing football since really since before I can remember. So probably since I was around 6 years old. My dad coached Pop Warner football, and so I kind of naturally just like gravitated towards it. And I ended up playing for a small Pop Warner team called Forest View Steelers. My first position ever that I played was running back, and then the rest ever since then was history. I just kind of fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, so like growing up, was it always just like football or were you playing other different sports?
Mostly it was football. I played basketball for a little bit. That wasn't really my calling. So I kind of just stuck with football. I've also ran track. I ran the 200 meter, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah, no, I notice a lot of people are when they play football, they also do track because it gets them in shape and keeps them
Right.
doing different things. So, was there like a moment when you were playing football that you knew, hey, this is the sport for me? It's like that play you made. You're like, yeah,
I think probably when I knew football was for me, it was probably in Pop Warner. Probably my year. Every time I was touching the ball, I was like scoring a touchdown, and everybody was like, "Man, you're so good! Like you could be in the NFL one day." So I was like, you know what? Maybe I am pretty good at football. I could do this.
yeah. We normally don't ask this, but my parents are moving to Florida, and you're in the Florida area. I have to ask, there's so many colleges. Growing up, what was your favorite college team?
Favorite college team? I'm a Seminole. I like Florida State. Yeah, that's my
Okay,
favorite.
yeah. Oh yeah, I had to ask. I mean, it's just like I feel like in that area, it's I have so many big schools. Didn't really know. So most people help out with the show. We were all recruited in like the 21 class and stuff.
Mhm.
We committed without being able to visit schools and stuff. A lot of that Zoom. It's like, hey, there's a virtual, campus, and then you never met your coach and you committed. How's the recruiting for you? And I know it's with the 22s, it's a little different. You can visit some schools and stuff. What's it like?
Mhm. Yeah, so recruiting for us, it's not as bad as it was for 2021, obviously, because we get to go on campus. But I would say it's probably like in the middle right now because we had that period for a long amount of time that coaches like couldn't see us in person, so they were kind of hesitant. And with like the NCAA giving all the seniors the extra year eligibility, it kind of took away a little bit of spots for the 2022 class. But I still think recruiting is going pretty good for me. This week I actually visited West Point, and today I just came back from the Navy Academy. So what recruits are going pretty good with visits and everything, and I should be nearing a decision soon.
Yeah. So you visited, you said Army and Navy. Are you visiting any other schools, doing any camps, or is it just kind of, getting toward the end of it for you?
Right. So I visited Air Force
Oh,
also in
Air
the very
Force.
beginning of. I visited Air Force in the very beginning of June. Then I just went to Army and then Navy today. But I think really that's pretty much gonna be it. I think I've kind of narrowed it down to the service academies. I'm also looking at Davidson College. That was a big that was a big school that was recruiting me as well. That's where Steph Curry played actually.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. I know Davidson's outside of Charlotte. I visited there myself when I was getting recruited, not even gonna lie. And I know the military school as well. My family's all been in the military, so that's awesome.
Mhm.
We all have a funny story with this, or just like, it happens at interesting times. What was it like getting your first offer? Where were you at? What were you doing?
Actually, I was on spring break when I got my first offer. I think it was a Thursday. I believe it was a Thursday because I was thinking that I just got to make it through the weekend and then I'm gonna be able to tell everybody at school like what happened and everything. So it was Thursday. It was probably in the afternoon because I had to go to work that night at Publix. I work part time at Publix, and the offensive coordinator, which is my recruiting coach, Coach Ivan Jasper, he FaceTimed me and he was like, "Hey, we love to go ahead and offer you." A position at the Naval Academy for the free safety position. And of course, I was excited because I finally got my first one underneath my belt and everything. And then from there, I think recruiting just started picking up. Once you get one, a bunch of colleges just start taking note of it and start looking at you.
No, you're speaking facts. The moment you get that first one, for me, it was I was working at a tennis club and I was teaching, and I got a call like four times by this guy. I kept declining, and I was like, this dude called me from Maryland. I'm like, I have to answer. It's five times like past the hour.
Got
I picked it up, and my boss is, I know I'm gonna get yelled at. I like answer it, and I was like under my breath, like in the corner. He's like, "This is so and so from Loyola, Maryland." He's like, "We want to offer you. We want you to fly you out soon." And I was like, "Thank you." I'm like, "I'm at work right now, but I'll talk to you a second." After, my boss is on me forever. It was,
Yeah,
but you'll never forget it though. You know what I mean?
yeah, you remember.
For the rest of your life. Getting recruited and stuff, right? For me, it was looking at a lot of the systems and see where I can best fit. Is that a big thing for you? How do you evaluate stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think the big thing for me is probably the biggest thing is going to be the relationships with the coaching staff. You know, how they like you, because these going to be the people that you spend your next 4 years around. But close seconds definitely, going to be how I fit into the scheme, how the defensive coordinator plans to use me at safety and everything. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a big factor in my decision.
Yeah, no, with being the armed, services, looking at those type of schools, big thing in camaraderie and like, being a teammate and, things like that. What do you value most in a teammate yourself?
Biggest thing in a teammate I would probably have to say is the trust and like reliability of everybody, because at the end of the day, you're going to be on the field playing together, and you have to have confidence in your teammate that he's going to do what he needs to do so you can do what you need to do, and that's how you're going to come out with the win. And that doesn't just apply to football; that applies to everything that you guys do together.
No, yeah. I want to get a little bit in your high school, team and with your upcoming season. Last year you guys played 8 games, which was a lot more than most places around the country. Most people didn't even get to play. You went 3-5. But how do you think the season went for you personally? I know I didn't really look at records much because it was hard to kind of get a rhythm, I feel like, with football last year.
Yeah, I think we had a pretty decent overall season. Even though we went 3-5, we actually ended up going to the playoffs
Yeah.
just because of how the brackets worked and how we won the division and everything. But I think I had a pretty solid season. I led my team in tackles. I had 1 pick-6, and I led my team in forced fumbles. So of course it was a good season for me, and I think it kind of paid off in my recruiting. But overall as a team, I think we're in the rebuilding stage. But that was actually a pretty good, solid season.
Yeah.
If you watch some of the games that we played, they're
Yeah.
close games. It's just that we make maybe a couple of mental errors that I definitely think we'll probably turn around this season, because we're going to have an older team. Last year we were playing with a lot of sophomores. It was probably their first year on varsity, so they might have been a little bit nervous. But now that this year that everybody's confident, we've been working really hard in the weight room and everything, it's probably going to be a really good season.
Yeah, talking about this season, what are you guys working on right now? And you personally, what are you working on? And do you like set like minor goals, or how do you work on improving, and stuff?
So really, I kind of set minor goals. I'll talk about the weight room for a little bit. We kind of like to set PR goals. So let's say, for instance, right now my max on bench is 255. Let's say by the end of the summer, I kind of want to be up to 275. That's like a goal that you work towards the whole summer, because the big thing for me was making sure that I was getting bigger while still keeping my same fast twitch and everything. Right now I'm at about 185 pounds. Last year I played at about 170. So I gained weight during this off season to make sure that my body could handle the demand that the season will put on me and everything. And then just making sure that I keep my range and everything, still being fast, still running and everything. As a team, I think the biggest thing we're working on is probably execution. Just because some plays we might have the golden play, but we just don't execute it right. So during the off-season workouts, our coach has been preaching like finishing and executing.
Yeah, if you can get that down, those like 1-score losses, those turn into wins. That's the big thing. If someone's never seen you play, what would you say your biggest strengths are and how you play?
My biggest strengths, I would probably say, is my instincts. Like on film, when I tackle, I feel like I just know when it's going to be a run play, so I can kind of beat the offense to the spot that they're trying to get to. I think I have pretty good ball skills. I track the man down well, and I track the ball when it's in the air.
Yeah. So, growing up, did you look up to any like, current or even former players,
My favorite player is Ed Reed, because he's the do-it-all safety. He's a ball hawk, and he'll come down and tackle you. Close second is Cam Chancellor, just because of the boom that he lays and everything. He's kind of that enforcer.
Yeah. I was wondering, players like that, right? when, you get younger, you just like them for, reasons, you know what I mean? But then when you get older, you start to realize how good they were. Do you ever go back and like look at their film and be like, hey, I could maybe do this and how you would do it?
Yeah, all the time. There's actually a play that kind of just like watching film on Ed Reed. There was a play where he baited Peyton Manning, like opening one way and speed turning back to the other side. And I watch it like all the time, just kind of like I can take what he did and kind of apply it to my game a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Like final 4 or 5 questions, what do you think is the best play you ever made in your whole career? This could be something that was in the playground. This could be, high school.
Right. The best play I ever made. It's actually second on my highlight tape. So when I send it to you, I'll make sure that I highlight it for you.
Yeah.
It was against Yulee High School. It was the third quarter. It was the homecoming game, and it was third down. It was about third down and 7, and we were in man free. So I was sitting up top. Everybody else in front of me was manned up, and basically my job was just to go wherever the ball went. The corner on my left side ended up getting beat, but I was deep enough to the point where I broke on it and the receiver caught the ball, but I guess I hit him so hard that the ball ended up jarring out and we got the turnover. And the big thing with me was the crowd reaction. The whole stadium went crazy and everything. Coming back, and then because of that play, we ended up scoring on the next drive and tying up the game in the fourth quarter, so we could get the win.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's sounds like a great play. Outside of, being on the football field, what do you like to do in your free time?
So I have a part-time job. I work at Publix. I'm a cashier. But outside of that, really my big thing is working out. Even outside of football, I just like working out. I think I'm kind of like a big like health guru, low key.
Yeah.
I play the game, of course. What football player doesn't play the game? I play Madden and I play Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, no, Madden. My one friend, he plays for West Virginia. He runs one of the biggest Madden leagues in the country. He's got like NFL players and stuff. So I'm all in Madden, man.
Yeah.
Final like 2 questions. You always finish off with these. So over your course of your whole career, what do you think is the best piece of advice you ever heard?
The best piece of advice I ever heard. Champions do things losers don't want to do. I heard that from my Pop Warner coach, Eric Wesley, actually. And that kind of just stuck with me in everything that I do. Like whenever I feel like, like summer conditioning, I'm sure you've been through it. Yeah. That like it gets hard. You like question if you really want to play anymore. But every time I think of it, I'm just like, yeah, this is why I had to do it.
No, I feel it, man. Props to you. I go down to Florida in like August to train. When it's 100 degrees out there and the humidity's high, those are the toughest moments, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, final question. This is probably the hardest one. When your football career is over, down the line, how do you want people to remember yourself?
When my football career is over. Probably that I just, outside of football, that I just impacted the world in some way, shape, or form. The big thing that's going on right now is like athletes having their name, image, and likeness, having the brand. So I kind of want to have that away from football, be remembered for the positive things that I would do. Like my dream job is to be like a team doctor. So I kind of would want to be remembered for maybe some strides that I make inside of the medical field, or maybe if I kind of I want to be a sports agent on the side. I could be one of the big sports agents that gets athletes big deals and everything, manage a top recruit or something.
Yeah. No, man, for real. That's awesome to hear. I love to hear it. That's why we started this, is like, getting athletes on, promoting people, and giving athletes like yourself a voice. And, it means a lot when you come on, it helps us out and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Okay.